Also, you mentioned something to the senator from Clarendon that it is your opinion that this bill deals more with hate than what a hate crimes bill would. And I'm glad you went down that
It would deal,
path.
I think this would do more to address, to alleviate, to deter hate than that bill would.
Have you ever, in all of your years as being a legislator, voted on bills that you knew when you voted on it would not really accomplish much, but you voted on it anyway because?
Sure, I mean, those things come up sometimes.
It's called feel-good stuff, right?
Yeah, we do that a lot.
We do that a lot. Why not do it as relates to hate crime?
I actually think that one's, I don't think it is just feel good. I think it's more divisive than it is productive. I think it's more detrimental than it is productive.
What, the bill or the debate? Because once the bill is passed and is signed into law, how is it divisive? You mean the debate over the bill?
No, I'm not talking about the debate.
Well, how is a hate crimes law?
The legislation itself, the idea that you should codify into law that people should be treated differently, that the law should treat people differently, that is a problem for me.
So that means the state of Wyoming and the state of South Carolina are the smartest states in the union.
I'm not saying anybody's smarter or dumber, but I will say
we're the only ones
this.
that get it. We're the only two states that get it in the entire union, right?
Look, I think you get a lot of folks who are going to give in to the leftist pressure on it, and they just don't want to deal with it anymore.
So Georgia doesn't get it, North Carolina doesn't get it, Alabama doesn't get it, Mississippi doesn't get it, Arkansas doesn't get it. We are Wyoming and South Carolina. Out of all of the states in the country, we are the two states that gets it more than anybody else, right?
I don't know where the senator from Spartanburg went, but I think you just made his argument for constitutional carry.
What? Listen, I would tell you after the most recent news stories that we've seen with shootings and stuff.
Where'd they happen?
All over the country.
And
in South Carolina.
All of those 48 states that have hate crimes laws worked so brilliantly to prevent it.
But Senator, that's why I asked you, have you ever voted on something that just felt good, but really did not have teeth in it? And the answer is yes, all of us have. All of us do that. So why choose hate crimes as the one bill that you're going to put the flag down on? Hate crimes as the one bill that we are going to say that is when we put an end to feel-good stuff, because we don't do that. We do not vote on bills that make you feel good but have little substance to it.
The senator from Cherokee fights every time somebody wants to have a new state bird or a state insect.
Right.
I mean, those are feel good. They don't do anything, but he fights them every time. Most of the time, he doesn't even let them come up.
How many of those have you objected to?
I mean, he's objected to a number of them.
Wait, but how many times have we voted on state birds and insects and all other kinds of things that make us feel good? And because your rationale for hate crimes, not having a hate crimes bill, has not been that if we pass this bill, we as a state will be worse off. It doesn't do anything. And I'm telling you, half of the bills we pass every year can probably be lumped in that category.
Respectfully, that's not the entirety of my position. I actually think it's more negative than positive, as I expressed earlier.
Well, if you do, like we're doing now, why not have a debate on it? Why not?
We're talking about it right now, apparently.
But why not have a vote on it? Well, here's what I don't understand, Senator. Would you agree that if you feel so strongly about this, why not just have a vote on it? Why not say, okay, this is the senator from Edgefield's position, this is the senator from Berkeley's position, Richland, Lexington's position, but we are going to vote on it. We are going to vote on it. Senator, would you agree?
Because there aren't enough people in here who want to do that.
No.
Senator, with all due respect.
There are not enough people who want to vote on it?
Senator.
Why don't you put it a call for special order and let's see.
Senator.
Okay.
Well, look, Senator.
Is there a special order slot open now?
Senator, respectfully, right? Take it to the people and win some elections.
What?
Right? Because if you're going to keep losing
Why didn't
elections,
you say that about abortion?
If you keep losing
When I
elections,
asked you about that,
if you
take
keep
it to the
losing
people.
elections, you don't get to set the agenda.
Senator, I asked you right on this floor, the first question I asked you on the abortion debate, and I quoted your words, and I took them home with me for a constituent. Are you in favor of allowing this to go to a public vote? Your answer was very crisp, very short, no. And so now, am I hearing you say now that the reason we cannot vote on hate crimes is because the Democrats have not won or enough elections?
What I'm saying is,
yeah, help me understand what you're saying, because I'm totally confused now. And I'm sure the senator from Charleston, Senator Sin over there, just remember that conversation, or the senator from Maury who proposed the referendum to let the people vote. Have you changed over the weekend? Now you're for allowing people to vote on controversial issues?
You want me to answer now?
I think I can answer it for you, but yes.
No, look, I believe in Republican government, and I mean that with a small r as opposed to a big R. I don't believe in Democratic government with a small d. Right? I think we should elect representatives to make decisions.
Those who ended Reconstruction believed in that too.
Okay.
Okay.
And those who sweated through the summer of 1787 believe that too. In Philadelphia, right? And all those people who voted to ratify in the states believe that as well.
Believed in the small r?
They believed in small r.
Yeah, and you mean those who wrote in the Declaration of the Constitution, all men are free and created with certain inalienable rights, and owned slaves at the same time?
That's not in the Constitution.
Well, you know what document I'm So you mean those people? Let's get back to the bills.
And the Constitution that protects you and me, right, guarantees Republican governments to every state. Now, there are some states that have decided that, you know what, this whole Republican thing isn't all that great. We need to have some direct democracy. I think that's bad.
So wait a minute, Senator.
I don't support that. So I don't support taking all these issues to the ballot. I think that's why we have elections. You and I can go before the voters. We can argue our positions. We can tell people what we believe, and then they get to make decisions about who they want to vote for.
Senator,
I think the same thing applies with that issue as it applies with this issue. If the people in South Carolina resoundingly demand that there be a hate crimes law passed, there will be people in here, enough people in here who will move to make that happen. The problem right now is there are a number of people who think that not
Senator,
only is it feel-good legislation, it is bad legislation.
Senator.
It is bad policy, not because people support hate, but because people support division. It furthers division. There are a number of other arguments that I can make about it, but that's the reason, right? And respectfully, if we have folks on the left who don't like the agenda that's being set, go out and win a frickin' election.
Senator.
Right? But if you go take to the public some of these ridiculous policies, you're going to go from 16 to 14 real quick, right? And you're never going to be able to set the policy. So don't be upset with me because we win more elections and we therefore get to set the agenda. That's how it works.
Senator, it's not we, it's you.
It's not
because
just
let
me.
Senator, yield to this question.
If you look on that bill right now,
you said bring it to the vote.
Right now,
how many of us can call for a special order in this body?
Senator,
who has the ability to move for special order in this body?
Senator,
who has the ability? Who has the ability to move for special order on this bill in this body? How many out of the 46 of us can get up and be recognized to move for special order?
Senator,
so that's not we, Senator.
Senator,
that's you.
Senator, if you and I want to have a conversation, I'm cool with that.
Well, we are having a conversation.
But you're not going to treat me like a witness on the stand.
I'm going to treat you. I'm going to treat you as someone who took to the well. And you brought it up, okay? I didn't bring it up.
I didn't bring it up. He brought it up.
Well, you waited.
But look, I'm happy to talk about it.
You said that this bill was better than hate crimes. You gave me the opportunity to get up. I was content sitting
I'm happy to have the conversation with you if respectfully, if you will allow me to respond to you.
I will.
As opposed to talking over me the whole time.
Absolutely.
But when I make motions for special order, it is not just things that Shane wants to do. It's not, right? And the people over there are not going to tell you that, except for one person, right? But these are things that are talked about, that then there is a consensus on what should be brought up, all right? So these are not just things that, there is nobody over here who actually attends caucus meetings who is going to tell you that what we do is just the things that Shane wants to do.
Okay. Are you finished? Because I want to ask the next question.
That doesn't happen.
So
I wish it did happen.
So I'm glad you've given us the inside track on what goes on in your caucus, because I don't want to make a mistake about this. I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. I know the press wants to hear this. The reason we do not have hate crimes, but the reason we can't even vote on hate crimes is because the people you represent says we don't even want to vote on it. That is what now correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to leave here.
Senator, here's what
I've heard you say the people you represent are saying they don't even want to vote on hate crimes. Senator, if you think you have the votes to defeat it, call for the vote. I surmise, did you know that I surmise that perhaps the reason you don't want to vote on it is because you know it would pass, okay? And I have seen you in all of your, I'm trying to use a word other than cockiness, okay? In all of your confidence, make positions and stroll up to that well and take your mic with other things that you know you can get past, i.e., this bill we are on right now. You know the votes are in here when it comes to a vote to pass this bill, and you don't mind bringing it up. And you don't mind standing to the well, taking any kind of abuse the senator from Richland is throwing at you on this, okay? You don't mind because you know you have the votes. I've seen you do that since you've been here. But I haven't seen you with that same bravo, that same confidence, that same any other word than cocky, okay? Get up and take the same position as it relates to hate crime. You brought it up. I was content in my seat here until you made the comparison between hate crimes and this bill. And you've just said to the world that the reason we cannot vote on this is because your caucus does not even want small r. You said small r. Small r to me is not allowing the representatives of the people that we all represent to at least vote on an issue. That's what small r is. Small r is not my 120,000 people from Senate District 1 coming in here voting. Small r is that they send us here to vote on issues. But big R, okay, capital R is the arrogance to say we got the numbers, and because we got the numbers, we won't even bring it to a vote. Thank you, Senator.
Senator from Fairfield, what purpose do you rise?
A few questions.
Senator Yield?
Give me just a second.
Sure.
Stand at ease momentarily.